Hello, my name is Tupin. This is tutorial number 3 on FRBL model. The first issues, we concentrate on the length of the wall in x and y direction, the x distance and the y distance to the door of the wall, and the type of the wall, structural or non-structural, and the height of the wall, and the room areas. In the next issues, we will look at the floor design along the wall's edge or design by point. We go to external tools and open tutorial. Go to internal design, and in FRBL model, the x-axis in this direction and the y-axis in this direction as the top view of the building. The wall along the x we call the wall fx, and along the y direction we call the wall y1, y2, y3, and so on. And the first room we call f1, f2, f3, following the external rooms 1, 2, and 3. So each external room for external wall you design, it will have an associated room inside. And similar in the y direction, you have wall R for right, y1, and right, y2, and x direction, wall x1, x2 along the x-axis. There are several ways to create the internal rooms. This is the most easy way. I create first the internal fun room and stop at the last. Thus I create the first room right one here, and similar I create the back room here because I stop the right side at the last room. And the left room number 1 is start as the last room of the back side, and I create the left room number 3 at the position of the room f1 that I have to delete, because this is a much that we have to create the first room. About the distance to the door, it will given from the start point of the wall, and this is also the rule for the door outside of the wall, external wall. You give the distance from the start point of the wall from left to right in the front side. Here is an example of the distance to the door in the right side that easy to make mistake. Is the start point of the wall from here to the center is only 1400 millimeter. So the case you have a very scale wall, so the distance, the y distance to the door is very small. So when we look at the Revit, I go to the input, and before I create the internal room, of course I have to create the external walls first. So this is the external wall. I show it in top view, and then I go back to input, collapse this, and open the internal design. So in this area of color, you design the length of the wall and the distance to the door, but in the green area here you design the type of the wall. So we are going to create the fun rooms. You see it in 3D, and you can see the Y length of the wall here is different from the floor to the floor. As is stand here in the input, in the first floor I have only 3.1, but the two next floor I have the wall Y length up to 3.1 meters, and we have some door inside here. So if I would like to have a door look like the door here, so I can see on the name of the door, it's called something with Singapore double metal frame. So I go to the list of every type you have in the template ICDAS 2015 door type. So maybe I will take a small one here. I go in this list to find the number. It's 294. So I go back to input and go to door type here and modify it to 294. I do it for the right side, right? So I have to do it for the front side because we are currently in the front side. And also number 2, you can see in the X distance is 0. That means in the wall number 2 here, I don't have the room. So the next X distance, I have some X distance here to the door from center. We use again the door type 294. And I have it in the word number 4 already. So I just modify no, I don't have anything in number 5 because it's empty. It's prepared to be the room right one. So just save and undo and create the front rooms again with the new door. And then I go back to top and create the rise room and create the back room. And now I'm going to create the left room 1, 2, and 3 here. So I delete the first front room. And when so far ICDAS will create the remaining big area here as a room. So that means when I create the left side, it will ask me to delete the existing room here. So I just answer yes. For the 2 floor. So if we go to the first level and you click on this, you will have the room area here of 18.78 square meters. And the next room area so this is the area created by ICDAS and the remaining big room here. See it in 3D. And now I create the floor. The floor not cover entirely the building because in input I have choose the floor option 1 in level regions. And when I enter the floor option 1, I do have a chance to create the floor by any shape I want. For example, in level 0.1 is here. With the X this and Y this 0, 0 is the original point. But the next point I go 5 meters in X distance and minus 1 meter in Y distance. I enter in millimeter. And point number sorry, we are here in the first floor, right? And the next point number 3 is go 15 meters long here, and so on. So if you do not curate by point, that give you a chance to make whatever shape of the floor. But you want to create the floor, just follow the edge of the wall. So just use option 0, and undo. So you have the floor following the wall. So for what concerning design of the internal room, I recommend you to follow the manual here. It's done everything step by step. And in this tutorial, we show it on the text input, and you can also curate the building by the text input. It is similar to what we have done for the accent input here. Thank you for your attention, and see you in the next tutorial.